Today, I'll share step by step how I transform my physical paintings into prints that I sell on my Etsy store. I love offering prints because it allows anyone to buy art they love without having to spend a lot of money. It also gives my customers the flexibility to scale any design to their needs. And as an artist, I learn which designs they gravitate towards so that I can make more art they love. The first step is I select which art pieces I want to convert into prints. One of the deciding factors for me is the dimensions of the art pieces. Since I offer my prints at various sizes, I want to make sure my art will scale nicely. For example, 8x10 canvases scale perfectly to other 4x5 ratio sizes like 16x20 and 24x30, while 11x14 and 9x12 canvases scale a little bit differently, which requires editing and cropping work. More on that later on in the video. Personally, I like to offer 8x10s as a print size for sure in my shop because they look great, they're an inexpensive option for customers, they frame beautifully, and it's actually an ideal size to scale up to other popular sizes too. So if I'm painting something that I eventually want to offer as a print on my store, then I'll paint it on purpose on an 8x10 canvas to begin with so that I save time later on with editing. Now for square paintings, good news here. Size isn't an issue since squares scale perfectly. The next step is I take a picture of my artwork. So the rule of thumb here is that you want your camera to be between 12 and 24 megapixels for high quality standard size prints and 24 megapixels for 20x30 inch or larger prints without losing detail. Now I personally use my iPhone since it's a 12 megapixel camera, and then I do editing work later on to crispen the image up. You can also do a quick Google search on your phone model to find out its megapixel number. The other option here is a scanner if you have one at home. FYI, many home printers come with a scanner on top. Scanners can actually give you better quality images compared to standard smartphone cameras. Another thing to keep in mind for your scanner settings is that you want to keep an eye out for DPI settings. Now DPI, which is dots per inch, measures the density of ink droplets a printer deposits, which translates to print sharpness and quality. So for high quality, crisp prints, 300 DPI is the industry standard. Now the third option is to take your picture to get professionally photographed at a studio. The studio takes high quality pictures, crops, color corrects it, and gives you super high resolution files that enlarge beautifully. I have a shop here in my hometown of Ottawa that specializes in taking pictures of artworks, and it was an excellent option for one of my projects. All right, so once I have my picture taken on my phone, I then crop it to a 4x5 ratio, which will be for my 8x10, 16x20, and 24x30 prints. And then I color correct it. Now, color correction is a whole other world and a whole other video, but you can do an easy search on YouTube for some tips and tricks. So now that my artwork is in a digital format, resized, and color corrected, it's now ready to be printed. The next step is to find a printer of your artwork. I did some research last year on art prints, and I found that Giclee prints were the industry standard for art prints. Now, Giclee prints is an excellent option for art prints because it uses archival quality pigment-based inks that are fade resistant, vibrant, and look almost exactly like the original artwork, if not better. More on that later on. Now, if you choose to go the Giclee route, here are some things to know before trusting that a print is truly Giclee. The printer should be using between 8 and 12 different colors of pigment-based inks. They need to have high resolution output, so 300 plus DPI, and use archival quality substrate, basically either paper or canvas. The printer that I found that offered gorgeous, authentic Giclee prints with the most economical price is a company called PosterJack. So I just want to take a few moments here to rant and rave about them because they've been such a fantastic printer to work with, and my customers love their quality too. So I'm not paid to say this. This is a genuinely from my heart and from my experience working with them. And I often joke sometimes that the prints look better, if not more vibrant than the original. So here's an example of a Giclee print of the Mona Lisa painting I did last year. Now you can see the colors on the print are super saturated. The blacks of the print have more depth than the original, as do the other colors in the print. And the paper it's printed on is thick, non-yellowing, and archival and high quality. The other nice thing with PosterJack is that they have fast shipping throughout Canada and the United States with a flat shipping rate. This makes it easier for me to send my prints directly to my customers without keeping any inventory. My customers and I also benefit from direct shipping since we don't have to double pay for shipping, basically shipping to me first and then out to my customer. That being said, sometimes I will buy prints to sell at my local gift stores and at my art shows. With these prints though, I make sure I package them with acid-free backing board and sealable clear bags, which is the professional way of packaging prints for sale in stores and art exhibits. But I've also found that offering my prints in a frame does well also. It saves my customers the extra hassle of finding a frame. I buy my frames in bulk on Amazon, which keeps the price per frame cheaper. Now the last part of the video is sharing how I edit my digital pictures to scale in all print sizes. Now customers love a variety of sizes to choose from depending on their needs. So the more sizes you can offer, the better. On the screen, I have a diagram of the popular print sizes that art print sellers offer on their Etsy stores. Without going into too much detail here, you don't need a different file for each size. All you need are 4 files in total, 1 for each category, and the rest should scale perfectly. Now to scale your files, you can choose to crop parts of your design out, but I personally don't like to do this because I find that the end print tends to look unnaturally cut off. So what I personally like to do is extend my designs. Now, every artist is a little different here. This is just my personal process. So I take my file over into a program called Procreate on my tablet, and I digitally paint in the missing parts with my Apple Pencil. Also, while I'm in Procreate, I zoom into my design looking for fuzzy and blurry areas, and then I retouch them with my Apple Pencil. This helps the end print look crisp and professional as possible. One caveat about Procreate though that I wanted to mention is that Procreate files are raster based rather than vector based. So if vector images are important for you and your project, you might want to use an application like Adobe Illustrator. I learned this the hard way after one of my projects, so I just wanted to give you a heads up. All right, so that sums up my overall process for how I turn my canvas art into high quality prints that I sell on my Etsy store. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, lots of peace, love, and color your way. Bye guys.